We interrupt your regular scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. Right now, Savannah city leaders are holding a news conference to provide an update on the city's storm response. Let's listen in.
Civil servants on earth. We recognize that public service is more than just a description on a job position. Public service is what you do. Public service is when the 5 o'clock hour is gone and before the 8 o'clock hour of the next day. Individuals who listen for the call, they hear the call, they respond to the call, they take care of their family and friends that they have to leave, and then they show up. And they stay and give the best of their time and they give the best of their service until the emergency is passed. And over the last 3 days, the city staff, led by these individuals to my right and left, have worked long and hard hours serving the residents of this city. They're not the only ones, because we are blessed with great public service throughout our county and our other municipalities and nonprofits and other community service agencies. But today in this space, I want to talk about these folk here and all of these folks here. They have sat in windowless rooms looking at computer screens. They have waded into floodwaters. They've answered calls from people who were upset, mad, scared, sometimes confused. They've answered emails and texts, sometimes not so nice, and sometimes utilizing words that are not in the Sunday school commentary. They provided updates to the public. They've eaten cold pizza and drank hot sodas. They've held more Teams meetings than they can remember, all to make sure that at the end of the day, whatever the end of this looks like, that Savannah would still be strong. And we are. We're lucky, but we're blessed. We're phenomenally blessed because you all know what this storm was looking like for us. And as bad as it was, as bad as it is, it could have been much worse. Our team did an incredible job to respond to the impacts that did happen, and you'll hear more about this from our city manager. But I want to be able to give credit where credit is due. And so I thank all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being who you are, being the true professionals that you are, for working with the city of Savannah, for working with Chatham County, for working with the Chatham Emergency Management Agency, for working with all of our surrounding municipalities for your hard work during this emergency. As expected, we saw major rainfall from Tropical Storm Debbie, and as a result, we are experiencing major flooding. And I don't want to underscore the fact that nothing happened. Oh, something did happen. And if you are one of the 20 people that were pulled out of a car, out of a home, you understand this got real, real for you. And for communities across our city that have trees down, and communities across our city that are finding it harder to move to and fro because of streets that have been impacted, you know that this is real. We want folks to remain vigilant this evening. There will be no curfew, but we are still under a flood warning. We are already over 10 inches of rain, and in some areas of Savannah, this ground is still saturated, and so that causes instability with our trees and signs and poles and creates additional flooding. And we could potentially see more rain again on tomorrow. As always, we urge residents to call 311 to report downed trees and flooded roadways. You can download the 311 app. It's called SAV 311 to submit service requests. And you could also contact Georgia Power for down power lines. And certainly want to send shouts out to Georgia Power. We know we had some significant outages, particularly on the south side, and they were moving quickly to get those resolved. Be mindful, as much as we're in here, we have city crews still out on these streets, and they're working. They're clearing trees. They're clearing stormwater drainage systems. They're monitoring stormwater pumps, and they're monitoring sewer lift stations. They are responding as needed to places that are needed the most. You can find information from the City of Savannah regarding the storm at savannahga.gov/Debbie, savannahga.gov/DEBBY, and we'll continue to update the website with necessary information. I also want to thank our federal and state partners throughout this. Certainly the President of the United States, whose office I heard from this week, the Vice President as well, from our senators, both Senator Warnock and Senator Off's offices. We've been hearing from Representative Carter was with us on yesterday. We also want to thank Governor Kemp and the Georgia Emergency Management Agency for all of their work, the Department of Transportation, and all of the other agencies that make up our state bureaucracy. And then, of course, those that are here in this local area. As I'm fond of saying, we might wear different jerseys, but when an emergency comes, we're all on the same team. And so we work together, we have issues together, but we work them out together. And we do that because at the end of the day, we serve the greatest folks in the world, and we want to make sure that they're safe and they're secure. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Jay Melder and to Team Savannah, and then we'll answer any questions you may have.
Jay? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Shabazz. Thank all of Council, too, for their wonderful support. We're glad to be here today to provide a situational update on our response to Tropical Storm Debbie. Hopefully this will be the last in-person situational update that we provide, though the recovery efforts are going to be ongoing. I want to thank again Mayor and Council for their strong leadership. I want to thank our partners at the Chatham County Emergency Management Agency who coordinate across the county all of our efforts. They've been amazing, and we are very thankful to be able to partner with them on these efforts and to take their guidance as we make it through these storms. We're also very thankful for GEMA and the state, as well as our federal partners who have all been on the ground with SEMA and with Savannah and with our neighboring jurisdictions and municipalities as we've battled the impacts of Debbie. So situationally, the city of Savannah right now is in a partial stand down of our emergency operations status, as most of the threats from Tropical Storm Debbie have moved past our area. However, we still are dealing with impacts, and we have residents who are still dealing with significant impacts from the storm. Since the beginning on Monday, the storm impacts and the rain impacts here on Savannah, we have seen an average of 10 inches of rain, which has meant more than 19.7 billion gallons of water have come into our stormwater drainage system, the vast majority of which has been pumped out of the city. Again, 19.7 billion gallons of water entered our city and entered our stormwater system since Monday. And we know that that caused some significant street flooding, and in our Tremont neighborhood area, some structural flooding as well. And we do still have residents who are managing through the impacts of that, and we're working with them as well. I want to talk about some of those major flooding issues. 37 homes were impacted in Tremont neighborhood. The fire department and the police department have been in contact with all 37 homes. 10 people were rescued from the 5 houses that did take on structural flooding damage. We have been helping with the mass shelter and care. 5 of those individuals who were transported. No animals needed to be rescued there. And luckily, there were no injuries to report, and everyone seems to be in very good condition. The water has receded tremendously in Tremont, and we're still waiting for all of it to be taken out, but we will be doing damage assessments and helping that neighborhood recover in the coming days and the coming weeks. We still have some significant street flooding, which our team will get to. So let me just introduce and thank some of the members of Team Savannah that you'll be hearing from briefly. I want to thank all of our chief officers, starting with Assistant City Manager Heath Lloyd and his team for all of the wonderful support managing all of the corporate functions of government. I want to thank our fire chief, Elsie Kitchen, and the fire department, especially David Donnelly in emergency management, for the work that they've done. The fire department manages these emergencies on behalf of the city. I want to thank the Savannah Police Department, Chief Gunther, and of course our assistant chiefs, Devon Adams and Rob Gavin, who are here. I want to thank Brett Bell, our Chief of Information and Public Affairs, and Brett has been instrumental in our sheltering work and has been spending the nights at the in-market arena. So I want to thank Brett and his team for all of the wonderful comms and public affairs efforts that have happened as well. Taffany Young and Community Services, Chief Young, also has been spending her nights at our shelters, which are still open at the Civic Center and will be open for the next day or two as we work with residents to move into a better condition. So thank you, Taffany, for the great work. I want to thank Faye DeMassimo and her team at Planning and Economic Development, and specifically Stephen Henry in our traffic department. This has been a major traffic safety mission, and they've done an amazing job. So thank you so much, Faye, for you and your team's hard work. Gene Pravat in government operations. I've been on the ground the whole time, and sanitation is back at work today. Park and Tree is back at work today, and code compliance and fleet services also back at work today, making sure that we have everything that we need and residents have all that you need as well. And last but not least, this has been a stormwater mission from the beginning and a water resources mission from the beginning. And I want to thank Chief Ron Feldner and specifically our stormwater director, Zach Hoffman, for the wonderful work that they've done. It was our stormwater system has a lot of capabilities. This tested a lot of it, and we were out 24/7. Their teams were out 24/7 clearing storm drains and keeping the pumps on at all 6 stations, and we'll learn more about that, but it was a really amazing effort. And I think I've covered all the chiefs. So let me turn it over now to our emergency manager, Dave Donnelly, and we'll hear from a few more folks, and then we'll answer your questions. Dave?
Good afternoon, everyone. The City of Savannah continues to monitor Tropical Storm Debbie as it slowly makes its way away from Savannah and towards the South Carolina coast. As Mr. Johnson mentioned, we do remain under a flood warning until 6:45 p.m. tonight. We do anticipate an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next 3 days, so there could be some more wet spots out there to avoid. We do not anticipate any storm surge, any high winds, or any tornadoes at this time. The city is in what we call operating condition 2, which means our city command post is in partial activation. As indicated by Mr. Melner, we have scaled back some of that operations, but we do have enough staff there to continue to support the missions we're still handling through stormwater, mass care, sheltering, and damage assessment. We have 22 teams out conducting residential damage assessment throughout the city. Residents should contact 311 to report damage and begin their recovery process by contacting their insurance agent. Staff is also evaluating city infrastructure for damages and for safety. The city was included in President Biden's emergency declaration, which provides the city a mechanism to recoup costs for emergency protective measures. We have not received a declaration for individual assistance, which is for residents, post-disaster assistance, or for public assistance, which is for city infrastructure and cost. But that may change based on the assessments as we continue to do those. So we're hopeful that, unfortunately, as we find more damage, we may be able to get more assistance. Now I will turn it over to Director of Stormwater Operations, Zach Hoffman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So stormwater management team for the City of Savannah, we've been working hard over the last few days. We are trying to get back into a normal status, getting our canal water levels down. We still got some persistent water holding on the streets where we have some clogged inlets and that sort of thing. We've got resources deployed across the city, cleaning out those inlets and getting that water off the road, getting it into the canals, and the pump stations are doing their job, getting those levels down back to normal. We do have still some higher water levels, which will take potentially a few days to pump out all that water and get it out of our system and get those canal levels back down to normal. Along the Springfield Canal is one of those main areas, which, as Jay mentioned earlier, we had some issues there in the Tremont Park neighborhood. But it is receding. It has crested. It is receding and on its way down. And we hope to have that back to normal in the next few days. Tremendous amount of water being pumped out of the system there. Also, our Dundee Canal, which is kind of adjacent and west of downtown, it is not a pump station canal. It's a gravity flow canal out to the river. So with that canal, you'll probably see a couple of tide cycles for it to get down and get back to normal. So overall, water receding. Most street intersections have been cleared now, although we're still clearing some of those persistent, stubborn ones. There is some water adjacent to the roadway along Louisville Road, coming adjacent to the Woodville neighborhood. That's remaining a little bit high. That's flowing to the Dundee Canal, as well as water along either side of Stiles Avenue, which again is the Springfield canal that is going to take some time to get pumped down. Our other canals are doing very well and have receded very well. Let's see here. We are not aware of any road cave-ins that you might anticipate with a significant storm of this magnitude, but we are continuing to monitor that and work with our transportation teams to monitor that situation. And with that, I'll pass it over to Savannah Fire Chief Kitchen.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to thank all the firefighters for Savannah Fire Department for serving hard during this emergency. Savannah Fire responded to 154 calls for service, 18 water rescues, 4 of them was from a vehicle and 8 were from homes. We did not transport anyone medical. We had we helped with 150 tons of sand. We remain ready for call and for service. Now with that, I will return this over to Assistant Chief Gavin.
Good afternoon. I want to thank all the men and women of the Savannah Police Department for the outstanding job they've done over this entire emergency event. The Savannah Police Department has responded to over 1,100 calls for service throughout this entire event and assisted with Savannah Fire in several locations for water rescues. Over the last few days while responding to this emergency, we've also been doing police work. An example of that was yesterday, SPD officers arrested Jashanis Robinson in connection with the June 25th homicide at the 600 block of Burr Street. That arrest was made, and we're continuing to go after people that are out here to harm people, especially during events like this. So we're going to continue to serve the public throughout this emergency. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chief Community Services, Tiffany Young.
Hello. From a sheltering standpoint, we have been assisting both the unhoused as well as folks that have been rescued as a result of this incident. I would especially like to thank all of the city staff that have been in support, but we have not done it alone. I'd like to thank Chatham Savannah Authority for the Homeless, the Department of Family and Children's Services, the Department of Public Health, Red Cross, the Salvation Army, Interagency Council on Homelessness, all of our homeless service providers, as well as our faith-based organizations and other nonprofits who have also been sheltering, transporting, feeding, and clothing those in need. From the City of Savannah standpoint, we opened 3 facilities. That includes Tompkins Community Center, the Savannah Civic Center, as well as In-Market Arena. At the Tompkins Center, we housed 30 individuals. The In-Market Arena assisted 31 individuals, and at the Civic Center, we have had 81 individuals and will probably assist approximately about 100 people by the close of this event. I'd also like to pivot. One of the services that we provide under the City of Savannah through our housing department is to assist homeowners. So beginning tomorrow, when we return to normal services, we encourage homeowners who have experienced any damage to their homes to contact our Housing Services Department. That number is 912-651-6926 to see if they qualify for any repair assistance. At this time, I will hand it over to our Chief of Planning and Economic Development, Ms. Faye DeMissimo.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to thank all of the dedicated staff in Transportation Services led by Steve Henry, who's here with me today, for their incredible work over the last few days addressing impacts from the storm. We are still handling a number of issues citywide and ask residents to remain patient as we work to fix these issues. We want to remind everyone that if you come to a stoplight that is out, please treat that intersection as an all-way stop. And as of this afternoon, these are the locations that we are still working on, but I'm also very proud to report that just in about last half hour, we've got 2 more roads that we've cleared, and I'll talk about those for just a moment. So Star Avenue is still closed due to flooding. Plymouth Avenue and Corvair Avenue are flooded and closed between Ogeechee and Nash. Tremont is closed at Ogeechee and closed to through traffic at Dodge. 2nd Avenue is closed south of Nash, and 48th and Stanley remains flooded and closed. And of course, we're still actively working all of those situations. But in about the past half hour, we have cleared the 1200 block of 42nd Street and Ogeechee at 42nd. Thank you, and I'll turn it over to the city manager.
Thank you, Faye. So just to wrap up real briefly, the worst of the impacts have passed us, though we do still have some dangerous conditions, especially out on our roadways. We ask that our residents and our drivers remain vigilant and not to drive through any standing water. We do still have our stormwater mission happening, and that will be ongoing. We have our sheltering mission that will be ongoing, and of course we stand ready to rescue and provide any service from a public safety standpoint, but hopefully those rescue missions are over as well. Our property damage mission has just started, and we can't wait for this to hopefully wrap up with yard waste mission and make sure that when you get out when the sun starts shining and clean up your yards, that we'll be there quickly with our sanitation teams to pick up your yard waste. Tomorrow, the city of Savannah will go back to normal business, and the entire city will be fully open and back to business, and we have a council meeting tomorrow, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, that we're very looking forward to. So with that, again, thank you to our mayor and council, thank you to the entire team Savannah, and especially to our residents who really kept us informed throughout the entire event, for 311, both on the app and on our phone lines, on social media, and through our council members on where they were seeing impacts and where they needed services, and we were able to mobilize some support and get those services out there more quickly because we were working together with our residents, and we really, really want to thank everybody in Savannah for the wonderful support that you've given the team and for the help that you've given us in this response, and we're very, very lucky that we didn't see the worst impacts that could have come. So with that, thank you, and I want to turn it back over to our mayor, Mayor Van Johnson.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you to, again, this amazing team. Again, each of them represents a cadre of public professionals that work hard day in and day out. I certainly, again, want to thank our city council. They have been actively engaged, many of them, in the areas in which they live and in their districts, and so we appreciate that. We want to thank you. We recognize as we worked, we saw you, and so our media partners. If we're working emergencies, you're working them too. So we thank you because we've pushed out a lot of information over the last couple of days, and we appreciate you working with us to get the information out to where it needs to be. That being said, we still have impacts. And so although we're going to open up fully tomorrow, we recognize that transportation through and out our community may be somewhat different. And we want people to be flexible, understanding that. It might be a little difficult in some places. Again, we want people to be understand that. The storm may be over, but the impacts remain. And so we understand that. And so for Team Savannah that's coming back to work tomorrow, we want you to add additional time to your commute to get back and forth, just because things might be a little different. And as much as Jay probably didn't want us to, yes, we're having council meeting tomorrow. We just can't wait to welcome you back in the big chair, so we'll be having that. So that ends our prepared remarks. If there are any questions, we'll answer them and we'll feed them as to whomever. So.
Yeah, this is kind of just a general question. As the city employees, do you guys feel like you learned anything from this storm, one of the first that we've had here of the season, as we move into hurricane season?
Well, I'll answer, then I'll let Jay answer. I've worked storms here now 32 years. I've worked every storm. And I think every storm you learn something. This storm was different. I mean, usually, you see hurricane, it's coming from the front, days before it comes, and then it comes, and it's wind, and it's storm surge, and all these things. No, this was something different. Debbie was mean girl. She came from behind us, snuck up on us, then sat and just stayed there, and just rained and rained and rained. And so it changed my mindset as it relates to handling those types of things. Again, we're still in hurricane season. So we're still looking to the Atlantic, but we also recognize, I think, better how to handle rain events. But I'll let Jay weigh in as well.
Thank you. That's a great question, and I know that Dave Donnelly and our public safety folks know that after every event, we do a hot wash very quickly after that, and that's just a technical term for getting together and talking about what worked and what didn't work and what we need to work on for next time. And so the main thing about emergency management is to have all the decisions that you can make beforehand made. So when that threat comes, whatever it is, whether it's a hurricane or some other type of hazard, that the city infrastructure is ready to respond. So we learn things every time an emergency happens, every time we activate the EOC. I'll say that for me personally, we continue to learn that the more that we're in touch with our residents and the more that we have two-way communication with our residents about what's happening in our city, the better we are at responding. And so that making sure that we're creating those channels to be able to talk directly with our residents and be able to help empower them to direct us to the things that they need helps us be better in this response.
And
Hello.
WTCL, thank you so much. First question I have for you is, you mentioned we have some rescues going on currently. What roads or areas are we currently seeing those rescues taking place at?
We're not currently having any rescues, but if you'd like for Faye or Steve to come and talk about the roadways where we still have standing water and we're continuing to address, we can repeat those roadways.
So it's locations that still have standing water still closed. Faye had touched on Star Avenue, Plymouth, Tremont, which is in the Ogeechee area, north side of Ogeechee, west of Tremont. We still have a good bit of standing water. So a lot of those streets are in the same area. 48th and Stanley, last we heard, still had some standing water, remains closed. And I believe so 2nd Avenue, yeah, that's in the same area. The Tremont closures in Plymouth and is in that same area, as well as Corvair.
And where are those residents of Tremont being held at currently? What shelters or resources are being provided to them?
So for the residents that were rescued, whether it was Tremont or for the 1 or 2 homes where there was a tree that fell that we provided rescues, we served those who wanted to be served or needed a place to at one of our shelters, and we'll continue to work with them and with the Red Cross on making sure that they have a safe place to be.
And then for a final question, I mean, you said yourself this is the beginning of tropical storm season here in Savannah. With that being said, what plans does the city have in place? And that includes this $30 million FEMA grant that I recently got to make sure that flooding is reduced for the next storm that we'll be seeing.
Well, I'll start, and perhaps Zach and Ron or the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem can talk. I think that what we also realized through this storm is that all of our modeling and all of the data we have about the areas in our city that are prone to flooding are the areas that flooded and the areas that we knew we needed to bring attention to. And the impacts of the storm and the rainfall just affirmed those assumptions that we've made through data. I want to, highlight that, the Tremont neighborhood, which I think we saw maybe the most significant flooding, or at least the only structural residential flooding that we're aware of, that has been our number one place where we needed some infrastructure improvements. And in fact, Mayor and City Council and the Assistant City Manager, Heath Lloyd, made those investments actually in the last month to be able to start that work. So, weren't ahead of this 1,000-year event, but hopefully we'll be ahead of it the next time one of these big rainstorms come. So those are, I think we know exactly where we need to put these investments. It's going to take a lot of investments. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to bring our stormwater management system to where it needs to be for the future, not just now. I mean, you'll notice that, it's not every 500 years we're talking about experiencing a 500-year rain event, right? This is happening more and more frequently because of climate change and other issues, and we are a coastal city. And so you'll see even action maybe tomorrow, council's meeting, to explore ways in which we can provide more resource to stormwater in a more stable way for our community to be able to put these improvements in place. So let me just ask if Zach or Ron want to expound on that answer at all. But I would urge everybody to, we do have all of this information on our website, and I think we actually put it up last week before this event was an event because of the serious rain that we've had.
All right, you just heard from Savannah city leaders. The mayor saying over the last 3 days, city staff and others have worked long hours serving the residents of the city. The city manager saying 10 people were rescued from 5 homes that were flooded. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. Savannah Fire says it made a total of 18 water rescues. The city says some areas are still experiencing significant street flooding, so they are asking everyone to remain vigilant tonight and just try to stay off the roads if you can. And you can stream our Tracking Debbie coverage live by downloading our very local app for free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. You can also scan the QR code you see right here on your screen. We'll continue to keep you updated as it relates to flooding and other storm impacts, both on air and online. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Brooke Butler. We're going to return you now to your regular scheduled programming.